have an abbreviated airing of the today's special at the end of this hour. And we say abbreviated because I know you're trying to manage that 720 count size for your last show at 8 o'clock.
We're about 2/3 through that, yes.
Yeah. So, of course, that's coming up at the end of the hour. But now, if you have made that decision to get fit, I have to say for me, even if I were just doing this for time constraints, I actually travel with these. I am a huge fan of Secure Soy, and I know you are too. The great thing is I think we have all the flavors available in your various sizes.
We have all the flavors. We also have Secure Whey. So for those of you, soy protein has the best science in terms of supporting weight loss. We also have a whey protein version, a little bit more expensive because the whey protein is a little more costly. But we also make the same thing in a whey protein version. It's actually slightly lesser calories as well. So this is a product that's the lowest calorie meal replacement you'll find. The easiest to mix, the most soluble, the best tasting. Again, you could read the reviews. Despite it being barely 60 calories, this is a product that is exceptionally well reviewed. Again, almost 4,000 reviews. About 70% of the reviews are 5-star reviews. If you look at 4- and 5-star reviews, it's close to 80% are 4- and 5-star reviews. That's, I mean, if it, instead of 80%, if it was 40 or 50% for a 60-calorie meal replacement, taste is something very difficult to get everyone to enjoy.
It's true. And
we tried to create tastes that were universally enjoyable. And this is a product that's really designed to be a weight loss product. It's not designed to be sort of like that product called Ensure. It's designed to give you the lowest calories possible, so it becomes the most flexible meal replacement possible. How do I mean that? So you could take this at home. You could add juice or yogurt, or you could add fruit. You could add whatever you want, and you will still be at a meal replacement that's barely 100 calories. And then the level of calories, certainly the composition of calories we consume is important. That's why this is low in sugar, it's low in carbs, it's low in fat, it's high in protein. It's designed to give the right caloric composition. It's also designed to give low calories, because the difference between the calories we consume in a meal and the calories we've replaced it with, this is a meal replacement, that's our weight loss. So if we would have had a meal that's say 600 or 700 or 800 calories, and we have a satisfying meal replacement that even we add things into it, it's still barely 100 calories or so, the 500 or 600 or 700 calories we save, that's our weight loss. You do that every day for a week, you're losing more than a pound a week.
And you're doing it with something
once a day.
Once a day. And you're doing it with something that is yummy and creamy and delicious. There is no better way for me, whether it's late night snacking or you replace one meal, like Andrew said, like as an example, I ate really healthy today. I had an egg white omelet. But you realize my egg white omelet had more calories than this, and it was not as nutrient packed as this. So the hardest thing you have to do is to pick your size and to pick your flavor. Actually, we got our kind of exotic flavors by me. I almost never get to talk about the mixed berry.
We have the berry, we have the pina colada.
Pina colada. Is this my chocolate?
We have our chocolate. We have our, and we have, of course, our vanilla. The chocolate and vanilla are by far
for sure.
The chocolate, vanilla, and coffee. And again, I have to warn everyone, the coffee is real coffee, so it has caffeine. So if you're caffeine sensitive, then the coffee won't be for you. I've tried to find a decaf coffee that tastes as good, but I have not been able to.
No.
What I'll do is I'll mix a couple of these up. I have the chocolate in front of me. I mean,
I was just going to say, you can smell that it's a chocolate.
Like a chocolate bar.
Oh, God, that's a coffee. That smells good.
And just to show how easily these mix, and again, it's solubility is science. So this is something we took very, very seriously. Here, I'll put, even if we put, here's 1, 2, if I put 3 scoops in, that's 3 meals there. And again, we'll do the same thing with the vanilla. We'll do 1, 2, that's more than 3. They were heaping.
Which, by the way, these are so nutritious and flavor packed. Sometimes I'll even do like half a scoop, which I think is fabulous.
And what you can see here is, and this is the science, that even all of the ingredients we chose, they were all specifically designed for their solubility. And the reason why solubility is important, you might think, oh, solubility is simply important because solubility determines whether or not something's going to mix in a glass. Yeah, that's true. So it makes it the easiest mixing beverage you're ever going to find like this, because these are right there. There's about 25 grams of protein in each of those glasses. 25 grams of protein. That's a lot of protein. Typically, you're not going to be able to mix that with water at all. But also what solubility determines is solubility determines taste, because how soluble something is determines how it moves in your mouth, the way it flows in your mouth, that texture and mouthfeel. So solubility is both in terms of ease of use and mixing, but solubility also determines flavor. But what I want to show everyone here, and again, just letting it sit there, that's 3 meals right there in a small amount of water. That's probably only about somewhere in the neighborhood of 8 ounces of water.
Yeah.
And as you could see, it mixes. I mean, I could feel the spoon. It's like, it's thick.
It is.
But because it's so soluble, it all mixes.
Creamy.
And the same thing with the chocolate. And I'll make sure, because I let it sit there too long.
So even without a blender, that's what's so great.
So no blender.
No.
And as you can see, and I just have to
it's like
get
a candy bar.
To the glass. But, and as you can see, it's all mixed. And there might be a little sticky on the side of the glass. But either one of these, you could drink either one of these, and there'll be nothing sitting at the bottom of the glass.
No residue.
I don't know if you want to try the chocolate.
Oh, yes, actually. You know what's so funny? I started off with vanilla and coffee, and now chocolate is actually my favorite. Oh, my gosh. Like I said, that's like a liquid candy bar. I mean, it really is. It's like a liquid candy bar. Oh, that's good.
No, I mean, it's
good. I got
unbelievably rich. And these are 3 meals in about 8 ounces. So hopefully, and it's so flavorful.
That's yummy.
Even at 1 scoop, the reviews you'll read will talk about how there's too much flavor. But I'd rather have too much flavor and too much sweetness, because then you could always use less. You could always dilute it. It just gives you more flexibility. You can't fix it if there's not enough flavor.
No, sure.
So I'd rather, and flavor is the most expensive component in this product. As expensive as the protein powder is, flavor is the most expensive component in these products.
I'm telling you, it's not like any other meal replacement you've ever tried. I mean, it really isn't. And it's so easy when you think about it. You know, if you're having one lunch, let's say, you know.
I just want to show everyone.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I just drank, I just drank 3 of these. So that's about 200 calories. But the point is, I stirred it with a spoon.
Yeah.
I mix it with cold water, which cold water is even less soluble than, say, warm water. And you can see how creamy it is by the glass, but it's all gone. So
it is.
And I don't think there's any other protein powder, unless it's mine, I don't think there's any other meal replacement product in the world that you could do that with.
It's true.
So of course, in a blender, piece of cake, you could put what we'll often do with Muriel and I would do with, say, we'll take frozen blueberries or frozen strawberries, blackberries, a little bit of pineapple, some banana, and we don't use juice. We look at juice. We'd rather eat real fruit than eat juice. And then we'll put a little bit of, say, water in there, something like that, sometimes a little bit of green tea. And we just stick it in the blender, and we put a scoop in or 2 scoops, and that's it. So, and a meal replacement, a meal replacement isn't my science. The reason why I make a meal replacement is because the best science on weight loss, the most proven, the most established science on weight loss is meal replacement. Certainly, we need to change what we consume. I always say 80 to 90% of weight loss isn't activity and exercise. It's diet. It's what we consume. And the most consistent, the most reliable, the most dependable science on weight loss is meal replacement science. And that's what I've set forth to do over 20 years ago, was to create a meal replacement that is the best tasting, the most flexible, that gives you all of the characteristics for success. And if you read the reviews of those thousands of reviews, there are hundreds and hundreds of people who've talked about losing 50, 100 pounds or more, or maintaining weight when they struggled to maintain weight in the past. So it's a great opportunity to make a profound difference. So
2,772 are perfect on an item that has to do with taste. So if that tells you anything.
An item to do with taste, that's a 60-plus calorie meal replacement. So it's an incredibly low-calorie meal replacement. You'll get it home. It's designed to be powerful tasting because it's designed to engage you. We don't want this to be boring. We don't want you to get sick and tired of this. The chocolate is amazing. We use multiple different chocolate flavors when we put it together. The same even with the vanilla. And the coffee is real coffee. So it's an opportunity to do something that, in terms of weight loss, again, you don't have to get my meal replacement, but you won't find anything else like it out there on the market. But meal replacement does work. That is the way to go. Whether you use a protein powder and create smoothies, the way it's sort of, I say, to stay out of harm's way when we sit down to a meal or a snack. And what's also great about this, because it's a snack also, at only 60-plus calories, you have an opportunity to replace a snack.
Yeah.
So it's not just a meal replacement. You could replace a dessert. You could replace a snack, and it saves you the calories. So it's incredibly flexible, delicious, low in calories, and incredibly easy to use. You could just, as I showed there, you can mix it at high concentrations with a spoon and water.
Absolutely. All right. Now, we've got a couple of things we want to get to before we do that abbreviated encore of our today's special in just a few moments.